I'm out of chairs. So, did you go to elementary school in the 2000s or 2010s? Did you go to the library like the little nerd that you are? Did you see the little labels that said like 4.2 or whatever right next to like the little FIC for fiction or whatever it said? If you fit those exact prerequisites, you may be familiar with AR tests. AR stood for Accelerated Reading. Now for my homeschooled or differently aged friends, you might be wondering, what is accelerated reading? Is that just what the Flash does when he wants to catch up on some Harry Potter or Percy Jackson? Well, I tell you, no. You dumb bitch. Now for my homeschooled or differently aged friends, AR tests are what kept me reading. Don't get me wrong, I've always loved to read, but the thing that motivated me to get into it, like really read the bigger books and to just immerse myself into a world, was AR tests. Because, well, I'll get into that later. But I can practically hear you begging to me, please, for the love of God, tell me, what is an AR test? What? And to you, I say, chill out, man. Like, it's not that deep, but I'll explain it to you. Basically, you'd read a good Percy Jackson or Spiderwick Chronicles, or, if you're gay, the Warrior Cat series. And then you'd log on to this place called Renaissance Place. I don't know. Listen, come here. I don't know why it's called that. It doesn't seem to be related to accelerated reading. Anyway, you get onto Renaissance Place and then you take a little quiz that's based on your book. You search up the title and it's like, here's the quiz for that book. And depending on the book, you'd get a certain amount of AR tests when you pass. And if you remember from earlier, that little label that said 4.2 whatever, that's basically how many points you'd get, how many points the book was worth, and it usually equated to what reading level they were, like what grade. So 4.2 is 4th grade, 0.2. So 0.2 through the year. I don't know how long that is, but that's where you're supposed to be at that time. And like I said, depending on the book you got, they were different AR points. They were worth different points. So basically you'd have like the heavy hitters, from what I remember, like Harry Potter. They'd be worth 5 points, which is like 5th grade, or maybe even 6 points, which is 6th grade, which is obviously higher than most elementary school kids. And what did you do with AR points? Oh boy, let me tell you. Sometimes the teachers would celebrate whoever had the highest score. Usually do this around the end of semester, end of a month, whatever. Just depends on the school and the teacher. And sometimes, if the teacher was feeling particularly communist and distributing the prize, the whole class would get a whole ass pizza party. A pizza party just for reading books. Oh! Now what part of that beautiful pizza party for one kid being a fucking nerd, what about that isn't just the American dream? It's just, they seemed like such a huge deal, at least when we were kids. In fact, I reached out to some of my friends to see what they remembered or thought about AR tests. And here's what they had to say. First up, my friend who wishes to remain nameless says they were fun, I guess. Thanks a lot, pal. Really helpful. Thanks. Awesome. Okay, get this. My friend Dylan says, my elementary school would pay 5th graders money based on their AR scores each semester. Could you imagine that? You get cash. Cold, hard cash. And I'm not talking soft, warm cash. No, sir. Cold and hard. Any amount of money that you had as a kid made you feel like a rich badass who was just rolling in it. So this shit would make you feel like Jeff fucking Bezos. Like, oh my god. That's amazing. For my friend Lindsay, The color code on the side of my book, which at some schools identified the AR level, like instead of numbers. I mean, it would have the numbers, but also would have the color code to just like quickly recognize that on a shelf. Took on an aspect of my identity.
Oh no!
To the point where I'd sometimes pick a hard color for status and not even for reading. I'm amazed this did not happen to me. Actually, now that I think about it, I probably picked some higher numbers just to seem cool and smart and better. Didn't work. I just seemed like a fucking nerd.
Oh.
And finally, I have this glorious series of texts from my good friend Jake, and I'm not going to paraphrase any of this. I'm going to read it word for word, not even cut it down for time or anything. Prepare yourselves. Yeah, you watch it right now thinking, it's not going to be that bad. It's that bad. And if it's not, you can't even tell me because you're not watching this video right now. Nobody is. Aww. I remember that shit being stressful when they required a certain number of points in middle school. Desperately reading this whack-ass novel about a kid on some fucking pirate shit. Reading like hundreds of pages in a weekend just to take an easy-ass test. The kid gets flogged, dude. To which I responded, rightfully so, what the fuck? And he goes on to say, but yeah, it was all fun and games in elementary. You'd get prizes with enough points and shit. But in middle school, no. And then he goes back saying, oh dude, there's 3 fucked up books I read in middle school. I'll have to find the titles. He never did. One was about a girl contemplating suicide. One was about a colonial kid raising a prize pig, and then that pirate book. The pig book is on a ban list now because the breeding scene with the boy's female pig and the other male pig. Shit was brutal. To which I decided to respond to all of this saying, holy fuck man, your school career is whack. And that's all for my friends at least. Whew, that was yikes. Mm-mm. In the end, sure, they were probably a little harmful to your self-esteem. Like, with the picking the color just to seem smarter or cooler or better, it's probably not great for kids.
Fuck you!
Now, before you say anything, I know, as I mentioned earlier, no one's fucking watching this. Like, I'm sure a few of my friends are going to be cool. They're going to watch it, and they're going to be like, I'm going to pretend it's funny because I'm your friend, and I appreciate that. But, whoever's watching this video, just dropped my phone, please, either comment or text me if you know me, just whatever, and tell me what you think. Because I kind of want to really get into this. I love editing, I love writing, I love making jokes, making people laugh. If it doesn't work, please tell me why. And, well, first, tell me that it doesn't work, and tell me why. Because I want to do this. I want to try it. Just really excited to see how this one turns out. And if it sucks, oh well. Nothing's amazing when you first started. Except when you're me, when I'm a natural at everything I try. So, no. No. Whoever's watching, thank you. I'm confused as to why, but thanks. And I'll see you next time.